Peggy, this is a tutorial for you to help you create some lessons or practice or interactive activities for cells for your kids. So this is one that I created. I just brought in a picture from Google and put a few vocabulary words into the randomizer, and together they can spin the randomizer and then point to different parts. I'm going to go to a new page by clicking on this arrow. You wanted to do some type of a matching game, or we talked about maybe some type of a memory game. You could do that with the image that I just pulled in. So you could do it by and point to certain parts of the cell. So for example, you could bring in, if you go to the camera, you can search for items, but they didn't have anything on plant cells. So I found that image on Google. I'm going to go to My Files. It's on my desktop, and here it is. And I'm going to click Open, and now it brings it in. And I could actually create a few of these. I can size it and get it where I want to. I might want to use a different image as I make it smaller. It kind of is hard to see, but so you'll get the idea though. You can find a different image. I can take it, and if I click on the accelerator menu, I can actually make some copies of it, duplicate it. So I'm going to make 5 copies. And let's see if I can spread them out. Okay. And I'm going to be making, I guess I need, let's see, I've got enough room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just seeing what I have room for here. I could definitely make a 12 grid with this, in which case I would want one more. I don't know if you have 6 vocabulary words, but and I can randomly spread them around, and I will put words in the other spaces. I could make lines if I wanted using the line tool, which is right here. You click on the paintbrush and then the line tool, but I don't think I need to right this minute. I'm going to use the line tool though to make arrows to the different parts of the cell. So I'm going to click on the line tool, and then I'm going to come over here and pick the color, and I want to make sure it's a black line and that it has an arrow. And what I can do is I can, oops, it's going the wrong way, so I'm going to hit the undo button. So you start where you want the arrow to go and then pull out. And so in this way, for each of these images, I can point to a different part of the cell. And I can, once I can click on the arrow down here, and I can make these, I can find my arrow, and I can even make them smaller. Kind of want it to fit inside of the cell itself. So I can size them and move them in any way that I want. And this is only if you want to create one with an image. There we go, right there. And I like that. And let's see, I want one more. Let's see, there. And okay. Then what you can do is you can start to add your vocabulary words by clicking on the letter tile here. You can pick any font that you want. I like to pick something that's nice and clear. Pick how big you want it, and then you could start typing in, just click and type in the different vocabulary words.
Are you talking to someone?
I'm doing a tutorial.
Like, no?
No. and just type in the different vocabulary words for each of the spots. I'm not exactly sure of which vocabulary word you use, so I'm going to leave this file just where it is. I can click on the arrow, and then I can kind of move these things around so that they all fit in a tile grid. And I would put a word here, 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 and here. You can, oops, move them around. Now if you want to group them, you can, oops, let's just put that here. Click out, and then with the selector tool, it will select them both. Click on the arrow and click on group and group the items. And you can do this for each one. Just drag and collect those 2 items that you want to group. Oops, sometimes you grab the actual item, that's okay. Click out of it and make a little box around it and group the items. And this way, that way when I move them around, they will stay together now. Group and group. Now I'm showing you this with pictures because this is the hardest way to do this. The easiest way would be to just type definitions and vocabulary words, and the kids could do matching in that way. Just make a tile and you do it in exactly the same way. You can move these around now and they'll stick together. So the idea is that you would have 6 in this grid. I would have 6 cells pointing to different parts, and then 6 vocabulary words. Now the next thing I need to do is create a rectangle, and I'm going to go back to the drawing tools, and if you click on the shape tool, you can make a rectangle. You can choose what color you want the parts of the rectangle to be, and I am going to use this. This is the eyedropper, and the eyedropper matches any color that's already here. So I am actually going to match the blue, and then it will make, and I'm going to do it for both of the, oops, let me try that again. I have to click the shape selector. I want the inside of it. Yours might look a little different. You might have to select them down here. I think I have downloaded the updated version. Click on the eyedropper again because I want both the inside and the outside to be the same color. And now I'm going to say OK. And what I can do, oops, is I can now create some tiles. Oops. And do that last one and that last one. I'm going to hit on the selector tool. So I'm going to show you that again. I'm here on the select tool. I picked my colors, and now I can create boxes by dragging them down. Now if I want to make sure they're all the same size, then once I get one that I like, and I'm going to check and see if it's the same size. I'm going to drag it so that it is. Once I get one that I know is the right size, then I can just use this accelerator button right here, and I can clone it. And I can make all the ones that I need to cover up the different parts. And then you can just make a memory grid with your vocabulary words and the different parts of the cell, or the definitions and the vocabulary in the parts of the cell themselves. It's up to you, whichever way you want. I am going to email this to you so that you will have this template so that you can finish it if you want to. And so I'm going to arrange them where I want them. And then what I need to do is make each one of these tiles hide and show. And once they can hide and show, then we can click on them, see if they match. If they don't match, then we will click them back and hide them again. And if they do match, then you just leave them unhidden. So I'm going to just wiggle these around a little bit. Now what you need to do to hide and show is you click on each one, click on this accelerator menu, and you go down to effects. From effects, oops, I'm sorry, you go to actions. From actions, you go to hide and reveal. They will ask you a lot of things, but just say okay. And then keep going for all of your tiles. I am going to leave a few of these for you to do so that you can hide and reveal them on your own. Actions, oops, actions, hide and reveal, okay. I'm going to do one more, and you need to do the other 8 to finish this. I will show you how it works. Say okay. And now if you're on your play tool, which is right here, play mode, which is where you want to be, then they can click them, click, click. Do they match? These do match. So that would stay open, and then they would go and try 2 more. And in this way you can make memory games, you can do matching games. Enjoy.